Welcome to Culture Collective, the podcast about art, lifestyle, and culture by The Signal. On this episode, Jazzy Young gives you a quick recap of all the festival events that happened during the summer. And later, she sits down with Cali the Kidd, the drummer and MC for the EDM band Midnight Panda, who will be performing at the 2016 Imagine Festival on Sunday, August 28th at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. All that coming up on this first episode of Culture Collective. And now, here's your host, Jazzy Young.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed your summer, but you better be ready for fall semester 2016 because it's about to be lit. Let's recap some of the highlights from this summer. So some of the biggest news for me this summer that I paid attention to, the XXL freshman class 2016 list was dropped about a month or two ago. On that was some of the biggest names in hip hop that are about to be, coming up this year. A lot of these people you hear on the radio often, whether you know them, their names or not, but if you don't know them, you definitely need to check them out. The list goes as follows. Anderson .Paak, who is one of my personal favorite artists who we've talked about on Culture Collective many times before. He was one of those on the freshman class. Lil Yachty, Kodak Black, Denzel Curry, Designer. You guys know Designer. His hit song Panda came out. It was a huge thing this summer. I still hear it all the time on the radio. It definitely gets down. Sounds a bit like Future, but Designer, he's still cool. So we got Lil Dicky, G Herbo, Lil Uzi Vert, Dave East, and 21 Savage. To find out more about those artists, you can definitely go on to freshman.xxlmag.com, and it has everything that they've released on there. One of my personal favorite Atlanta bands, Dosen, they went back to the studio this summer. They released a single called Doc Ellis. You guys should definitely check that out. In addition, some of these shows that you may have gone to or may have missed this summer, we had a bunch of stuff come through Atlanta, as always. Most recently, this past weekend, the Wrecking Ball happened, featuring a lot of bands, among them legends such as Anti-Flag, Dinosaur Jr., Motion City Soundtrack, Deer Hunter, and so much more. This was one of the last shows at the Masquerade's 695 North Avenue location. If you guys haven't heard, this historical venue in Atlanta is being sold to investors who are changing it to apartment mixed-use community. So the Masquerade will still be open. They're just moving down the street, but the Wrecking Ball always happens every year. So it was one of the last ones at the Masquerade's old location. So if you haven't had a chance to go to the Masquerade this summer, I'm sorry for you. I hope you catch one of their last shows. Another festival that came through, 808 Fest, brought the bass. There was several artists. They went to different venues around Atlanta for 4 days. Some of the bigger names, Mighty High Coop, Kilo Ali, Heroes and Villains, Juju Beats, Clerks, Double Nail, and so much more. I hope you guys got a chance to go out to that. If not, definitely check out 808 Fest next year. For some bigger names, Gwen Stefani came through Atlanta. There was the I Love the 90s show, which I didn't get a chance to go to. I really wanted to, but it featured Vanilla Ice, Salt and Pepper with Spinderella, Kid and Play, Coolio, All for One, Color Me Bad, Tone Loc, Cool Me D, Rob Bass, Young MC. And I bet that show was awesome. I heard it was great. Gucci Mane, Gucci Mane got out of jail. He came back to Atlanta. He's hit the scene hard. He played at the Fox. Schoolboy Q came through. Bryson Tiller. There was also Moonshine Music and Arts Festival happened in July. We talked about that a lot last semester leading up to that. Other than that, those were some of the bigger things that happened. I know Album 88 Ras Fest happened as well for all of you Panthers. But coming up this next week, I'm super excited for. Drake and Future are playing in Atlanta August 25th and 26th. I'm still trying to go get tickets to that, y'all. So if you know of any, hit your girl up. Another big festival that's coming through that we're about to talk about with Cali the Kidd is Imagine Fest. There's a bunch of big names. It's August 26th, 27th, and 28th. It's going to be really awesome. There's going to be a lot of people there, a lot of really good music. It's going to be a great time. So if you haven't gotten tickets yet, definitely go do that. And we will get to talk to one of the DJs opening the main stage on Sunday. So stay tuned for my interview with Cali the Kidd. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hey everyone, my name is Jazzy and today I'm reporting for Culture Collective. I'm joined by a very special guest and good friend of mine, Cali the Kidd. He's most commonly known for playing drums and emceeing in the group Midnight Panda. This duo hits main stage at Imagine Festival this Sunday afternoon, so make sure not to miss their set. But let's get to the chase. It's time for me to pick this man's brain. So Cali, tell me about yourself and what you do.
What I do is I love music. I love everything about it. I love the culture. I love how sounds can change people's heart and emotions. I love the fact that God has given me a gift to make music. So that's what I do. I just love on music and music loves me back. What people know me for is for some hip hop rapping, a lot of MCing and drumming, like you said with Midnight Panda. I quit saying I'm a lot, but like MCing, really being like a silly dude. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm silly, and like just being out in the community, just like wanting to put out good music. I do a lot of R&B, but that's like my secret project kind of thing. Like nobody knows, but they know. Like my friends know, but nobody knows. But I have like a lot of R&B music sitting in the background that we're gonna start trying to like put out in like this future chill way, where it's like deep EDM rhythmic music mixed with like good R&B vibes. So just different things, man. That's what I do. I bring different things to the table. I definitely stand out with my size and my overly largeness. That's giving you the example of why I'm sitting here eating this salad right now. Because I'm trying to be like fat, but at the same time, like be healthy, you know? So,
what kind of salad is that, Callie?
it's a Caesar guy.
That looks real good. It smells good, too.
It's the Caesar with the chicken grill. Shout out QT. I didn't want to put no QT products on the table because I didn't want them trying to sue me or ask me for a check, because you try to get a will out of me, you get a bill.
All right, Callie. So you make music all around. You're an artist. Tell me about what you've done with Midnight Panda and how you kind of got into playing music with CJ and just getting in the Atlanta music scene in general.
What happened was I had already been in Atlanta, and I was like, yo. One day I was sitting around with a bunch of my friends and some of my like closest friends now, who I call my brothers, and I was like, yo, I'm finna take over the EDM scene with music, either with me or against me. And I was like threatening everybody. They're like, you tripping, you're drunk, whatever. I was like, nah, like I really want to do this music in Atlanta, and I feel like I can have a voice for Atlanta. So 5 years later, 3 years into that, I'm at a music festival. I've been like slowly putting out music, but I was always hanging around. As a musician, you naturally hang around with artists and DJs. So I was always hanging around musicians and other DJs. And I'd always be in the green room in the back hanging with DJs and chilling. And me and CJ just kind of was always in the same circle of people. Well, at a festival called Counterpoint 2014.
How was that?
CJ came out, and I just was like, I'm going to throw a bunch of money this weekend. I was already drunk before the festival started. And I ended up going out there with like $1,000 in ones, because I went like to the strip club, and I went inside, ordered a drink, I ordered like 2,000 ones, and I had my drink, and then I left. I was like, I'm just gonna throw ones. So then when we ran out of ones, I was like, man, what do I do? I started asking like the representatives in the back of the festival, like, can you give me more ones? So I went out with CJ. and he allowed me to MC with him. And Eddie Gold came out with us as well. And Eddie's like one of our brothers, he's friends as well. But there was something of a connection between me and Cedric that we kind of, I agree, I think he'll agree that we kind of both felt like we were on the same page musically, as far as like how the set goes and how like performance goes. And we just had a vibe. And it kind of went like Kid and Play style. And we were like, oh, let's try it again and see if it works. Well, at Counterpoint, it went crazy. And then we played a couple shows in Atlanta. I think it was like a quad, and Quad was doing a crazy like Tuesdays. We played in Quad, and it was like ridiculous, like standing on the stage on the DJ table like type crazy night, and like it just ended up being like this vibe. Like people started talking like this is dope. And at the time I wasn't drumming yet. I was just his MC, and it ended up being like Tomorrow World came, and I think once I played Tomorrow World with him, that's when I kind of was like, this is something I could really seriously like look at doing. And 2 years, it's been almost 2 years now, and like now we've brought like the Panda. We had a Panda mascot. Now we have our merch line that's getting ready to drop like literally next week at Imagine, which I've been working on like a lot. We excuse the shirt. There's like stuff all over my shirt from me like being fat, but and like he's such a talented DJ. I learned to DJ from him. The reason I am Cali the Kidd the DJ is because he taught me everything, and I was like, I want to learn. So I bought CDJs, and he was like, I'll teach you. He taught me, and I started getting gigs, and I started realizing because of me already being out in the scene with him that it was easily like people started to respect the nature, like, he can do more than just hold a microphone and say, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we were like, I still want to be respected more than just the MC. So then I was like, I've been drumming my whole life. I was a music major in college. Let's just go ahead and bring out some drums. And we brought out drums, and everybody was like, oh, it's dope. So we kept with it. And then now, like, for Imagine, we're bringing out I finally went and got a Hand Sonic, which is like a drum pad with like crazy sounds, and we're gonna upload crazy sounds, and
awesome.
It'll be able to. It just, we keep switching up the performance, but it keeps me involved, and so I'm not just kind of standing around with a mic so much.
That's awesome. Yeah, when we had our good homie John, aka Paratice is his DJ name, he shouted you guys out, said that you guys are one of the big people in the scene right now, really killing it. So
thank you, John. Thank you, John.
Definitely.
It's cool. It's cool.
So, who are your biggest influences in music today? Specifically, if you have anybody in the Atlanta music scene that you really would like to, give credit to.
Like who influences me, or like who do I like?
How about both? Tell me first who influences you.
Does it just have to be Atlanta?
No. In general, who are your biggest music inspirations?
Low key, if you listen to my music, like if you go on SoundCloud and listen to music, like it's different. It's not what I expect from him. Jaheim is like one of my biggest influences, R&B cat. But Jaheim was like the only R&B cat that I felt like he was a thug. Like he wore Timbs, he was driving that Navigator around. You was just like, Jaheim's will do the same dude that he'll knock you out and then sing you like a lullaby. Like you gotta respect, like he old school. And if you play all his old songs, you're like, dang, I remember all of these when I was growing up. Like he was a big influence for me. Gospel is I grew up in a church, so like gospel is a real big influence for me. And I don't know, man. Like I love Alicia Keys. She's a crazy, like, just melodically. Mm-hmm. And then I got to give credit to, since we're going to Atlanta, I got to give credit to The Dream. And Dream is responsible for a lot of dope people's, like he wrote for a lot of people, Rihanna, Beyonce. He wrote for a lot of big names before he even dropped albums. And then when he dropped albums, he still dropped like great radio hits. So like, I love Dream. He's like I mix my music really is like me. It's my own kind of hip hop flavor mixed with like Dream and Jaheim, and that's how I kind of, even to the breakdown of like my beats and like my chop and screws, my highs and lows, everything I do, I kind of do it like them. And nobody knows, but I just gave my secret away.
So moving on to people in Atlanta, who do you think are making, a big impact on the scene today?
I definitely want to say, like, hip-hop wise, a lot of dope artists are in Atlanta. You know, I kind of feel like everybody's kind of cultivating into the same style right now, and I wish there would be a little bit more variety. You know, the Migos definitely broke down a door and opened it up into like everybody rapping like that. You know, everybody, even if it's not like that, it's the same dab, it's the same drip or sauce or flavor. Like, so I mean, as artist-wise, Atlanta, I really don't pay attention too much. I kind of keep an overall perspective of the guys I respect and like enjoy their overall music. But when it comes to EDM, I give it to guys like Heroes and Villains, man. Like what he's been doing with Bass Family lately. Shout out to Bass Family, Heroes and Villains. What he's been doing Bass Family with these parties he's been cultivating. He's really been branching together the hip hop and the EDM scenes together, and giving a prime example of like a vision that I felt like I had. You know, everybody has different visions, but I feel like I had this vision 5 years ago when I was telling everybody either you're with me or against me. And I watched him really be, you know, with the powers that he has because of the work and the time he's put in. I've watched him actually do what I've always wanted to be able to do, but sometimes didn't have the strings to pull to do it. So, like, I mean, he definitely plays a major influence. Mayhem is like one of the fathers of just like trap and hip hop, bringing the EDM and trap music and hip hop together. And like Mayhem, shout out to Mayhem, he does it big. A guy that everybody sleeps on is Dobroka, man. Check out Dobroka. He's going to be one of the biggest things I've ever seen. Like, and he's like been here for so long, and it's just always live. I feel like he's really paid his dues. And then I would say us. I feel like it's, you know, as Midnight Panda, I feel like it's time. It's a lot of the music, everybody was always critics about like, yo, you really haven't heard any music from you guys as far as Midnight Panda goes, but that's because like nobody wants to put out crappy music. I don't want to be, I'm sure CJ can vouch, we don't want to be the people who put out 20 songs and only 2 of them are cool. Like, I don't want to do that. He doesn't want to do that. I'd rather wait another year and not drop anything and know that when I hit you, you're going to feel it versus I'm just going to drop 50 songs and hope that one of them pops. Like, that's...
Well, you put time and effort and really value the quality of your music, so it's worth the wait and worth the time.
I value this salad, too.
I know you do. So, you know, you talked about Bass Family and Heroes of Villains putting on these events. Isn't there one coming up soon?
This Friday. And our homie, Riot 10 is coming in town. Riot 10 from Texas. He's a super dope producer or super duper producer. He's like from Texas, and he's such a like cool dude. He actually blessed me with a track, and me and a guy named Lil Silk have a track with him. So it's gonna be dope because it'll be the first time he'll be in town that we're gonna go ahead and drop the track, and Silk will be there, I'll be there, he'll be there. So we gotta definitely get some footage, but it's gonna be this Friday. They're gonna release the location, so you should just get online, look at ATL After Dark. With Heroes and Villains and Bass Family, Midnight Panda, my homie Black Amigo is gonna be there. I can't think of who else is on the roster right now, but it's gonna be this like super family. Last time it was crazy numbers. We're expecting like 1,000 people out. We play at Havana before, so it's kind of like a, hey, if you want to come hang out with the Panda Squad this weekend and see how we bamboo, you know what to do. Pull up.
Well, that sounds exciting. I hopefully will be there as well. So besides that show, can you tell me about any of your upcoming shows, whether it be with Midnight Panda or solo with Cali the Kidd?
We have Imagine Music Festival, which for people who don't know, I'm not knocking anybody, but Tomorrow World did like great numbers, and it didn't happen this year. Counterpoint, which everybody loved, didn't happen this year. So with Imagine not doing Old Fourth Ward Park anymore and actually moving to Atlanta Motor Speedway, I've heard through a birdie's chirp that it's going to be like 30,000 plus people, which is going to be great for the Iris family. Shout out to Iris and Glenn and what they're doing over there. And it's going to be a big weekend full of huge names and just a great atmosphere and a great energy. And like everybody, if you haven't bought your Imagine ticket, I advise you to go. It's going to be crazy. We'll play Sunday. We're going to open the main stage on Sunday. And we're just going to bring a lot of energy. It's going to be a crazy show. You wouldn't be mad. Like, even if you bought a Sunday pass just to come see us, you wouldn't be mad. You'd be like, yo.
You really want to be. I'm
not mad I came and seen those dudes. There's a fat dude on stage jumping around everywhere. It was crazy. I didn't know what was going on. I was confused.
I'm super excited to see you guys play at Imagine. I'm really looking forward to it. Are there any musicians playing this weekend at Imagine that you're excited to see?
I mean, I would have to read a list so long, but like I'm really excited to see John, 12th Planet. 12th Planet is like so humble. He's so chill. Like he's such a real dude. Like he's never been the type of DJ that gets too big to be like when you walk up on him, he's not like so hold on. Or he doesn't play like. He's so real. It's just like he'll be like, yo, bro, how's it been? Last time I saw you, and he actually remembers the last time he saw you. It's not just like here's a routine of what I give everybody when I see him because I see so many faces. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't forget this face.
That you can't. All right, Cali. Well, is there anything else you wanted to tell the listeners about, whether it be upcoming shows, releases, anything, before we sign off?
Please go check out the SoundCloud. I just released it after like people stabbing me for like a year to do it because I've never put out music. Cali 1000, CALI 1000. That's SoundCloud. Go check out the Midnight Panda page, Midnight Panda Music. I would say besides that, check out the Cali the Kidd page and just, keep up to date with what we're doing. We're like trying to bring something different to Atlanta and style. We love having a party and having fun. It's not even like about, it's a show, we're uppity. Like we really love just having fun, shaking some tail, getting down, jiving with your turkeys, you know what I'm saying? So that's all. And stay safe.
Well, thank you so much, Cali. It was great having you here. Thank you guys for listening to the Culture Collective podcast. Tune in next week for a new episode. We'll see you then. Thanks.
Eat salad.
You have been listening to Culture Collective, hosted by Jasmine Young, produced and edited by Ben Abrams, with music used by courtesy of Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. Culture Collective is a presentation of The Signal, the independent student newspaper of Georgia State University. For more content, stories, videos, and our podcast, you can visit our SoundCloud page as well as YouTube and our website, georgiastatesignal.com.